Hello, I'm Lake County Board Member Dick Barr. Last week at Committee of the Whole, we had a proposal to show us the options for the new ability for the county to impose a countywide motor fuel tax. The tax could range anywhere from 4 cents to 8 cents per gallon. I had drafted some comments to be read on the floor of the board today, but since I was ruled out of order because it wasn't on the agenda, I decided I'd like to go straight to you and let you know my thoughts on it, and also let you know what you need to do if you are opposed to this. So let me begin. I took the opportunity this weekend to poll my constituents regarding the recent discussion of what could lead to the potential addition of a motor fuel tax for Lake County to pay for transportation projects. While many in my district are cognizant and desirous of improvements to transportation, the overwhelming majority are opposed to any increase in any tax that places further burden on their ability to make ends meet. Their opposition ranged from reasons of affordability to distrust that their governments will best utilize the funds. Many were furious that this discussion has come up barely 1 week after the state of Illinois voted for the largest spending and tax increase in the history of Illinois, which included a doubling of the state's motor fuel tax from 19 cents per gallon to 38 cents per gallon. My district residents range from the lower to middle socioeconomic class and have some of the highest property taxes as a percentage of their home value in the county. A $200,000 home in my district can pay between 4 to 6% of its home value in property taxes. Imagine owning a $200,000 home and paying $10,000 a year in property taxes. Think about that for just 1 minute. Paying the equivalent of your home's value to the government every 20 years in property taxes. That new homeowner need only make about $65,000 a year to qualify for that house. That homeowner is now paying 15% of their income in property taxes, on top of the 25% they pay to the federal government, as well as the almost 5% they pay to the state. Combined, that's 40% of their income before they start paying for all of the other taxes imposed: food, phone, internet, travel, gas, water, etc. But it gets worse. For the homeowner who bought that house 20 years ago, they only needed to make about $40,000 to qualify for that home. As taxes have gone up, this percentage of their income spent on property taxes has risen dramatically. That homeowner pays 25% of their income in property taxes alone, bringing their total on direct government taxes to 50%. And it still gets worse. What if that homeowner is now retired and they're bringing in only 60% of their pre-retirement income? Well, they are now paying upwards of 40% of their income in property taxes, for a total of 70% of their income going to direct government taxes. Property taxes have choked the equity in our residents' homes. An extra $5,000 in annual property taxes robs as much as $70,000 in equity from a home's value based on mortgage affordability. My district is filled with residents in the above situation, and current laws do little to protect the taxpayers who continue to flee the state in droves. My residents have asked me to investigate ways to find transportation funding in our existing budget. They have demanded that we, as a board, find ways to not just freeze their property taxes, but lower them as well. While it is true the county represents only about 4 to 7% of the property taxpayers' bill in my district, the small differences that we do have the power to affect can make a big difference for many in my community. To give you some perspective, yesterday I stood in line at a district gas station where I watched one person put $9 into their gas tank. They paid with a $5 bill, 2 singles, and a handful of change. The person behind her tried 4 times to get their credit card to be approved, unsuccessfully, before walking out of the building in self-perceived shame. I wish I could have told him that he should feel no shame. The shame belongs with us and all of the leaders who have the ability to prioritize taxpayer dollars in a sustainable way. With budget season upon us, I'd like us to continue the tough conversations that not just take into account what our communities need, but what our communities can afford. we have an immediate opportunity before us in the near future to show some goodwill and good faith to our residents. We are currently still levying about $1.8 million per year for the Winchester House nursing home, which is no longer in use. I believe it is time for us to give that money back to the residents before looking for other uses for it. If you agree that we as a county need to find other sources of revenue or find money in our existing budget to pay for transportation costs, please let me know. If you disagree with me, please let me know as well. I'm open to conversation on all sides. So thank you very much and have a great day.